Hi friends, so we meet again for the next multi-bagger stock series. This time the stock that I have chosen is Finotex Chemicals. Excellent company with very strong fundamentals, a very renowned company, old company, very strong management, and a very strong market cap kind of a thing, and a very large addressable market for this chemical company. So we'll discuss in details why I've chosen this company, why it looks promising to me in the forthcoming slides. So what's a multi-bagger stock? We are already discussed in the part 2 series, video number 1, video number 2. I'll not dwell too much of time on this, but a multi-bagger stock is something which can give you multi times returns, 2x, 3x, 10x, 20x, 100x, 1000 times x. That is called a multi-bagger stock. And the endeavor is to choose these kind of stocks which have a large addressable market, which has a higher growth potential with strong management, and which has a good track record also in the past. So we assume that a company which has done good in the past will also do well in the future and will lead to a lot of return for the investors. This word came out from a book from Peter Lynch in 1988. That's fine. And so there are many characteristics of a multi-bagger stock जो हमने पहले discuss किए थे in the last two videos. So I'll not again take too much time on this, but just touch upon the main important points. So we want a company with high revenue growth, so that uh, if the top line for the company is increasing considerably beyond 15%, 20%, that means the bottom line also, if it comes into picture, then we'll see a multi-fold return in terms of return on equity and return on capital employed. And we assume that the profit aggregate will keep on increasing multifolds. Of course, we want all these companies to have large addressable market. See, a company may be very good, a business may be very good, but अगर उसका addressable market ही कम है, then we can't expect the company to expand. The stock always runs in parallel to the company's growth. जितना company grow करेगी उतना ही stock भी grow करेगा. So we always want a company with high addressable market, so that there's a room for expansion within that particular market. Sometimes we look for disruptive potential also, which means there is a room for disruption into the overall market, which means the company can either enter into a monopoly, or it can bring in some new products in such a way that these products become a very high component of the entire market. Strong fundamentals, of course, and we will never choose a company which have even which is lacking on some of the parameters of fundamental. Strong fundamental is the key for our stock picking, and we don't compromise anything on that. That is a topmost priority for any stock to be chosen. We generally don't want to have a company with higher debt, because a higher debt, generally what happens if you have a strong competitive environment, या फिर there is a change in market conditions, or there is change in global conditions, or there is some change in the demand for the product, etc., then it becomes very difficult for the company to survive, because they have to service their debt. Already you have a large interest income to pay, and then becomes very difficult for the promoter to expand his business or to grow his company. We of course want a company which high return on. The very important parameter is also that the management should be highly motivated, knowledgeable. They should have high moral values. This is what something which gives a edge to a company with respect to other companies in the same peers in the same market. Because then these kind of management people with this kind of top leadership, they are always hungry for a change, and they can bring some bigger ideas into their company which can change their fortunes. So this company was incorporated in 1979, so it's a very old company, approximately 45 years old or more than that. This particular company is in the production of manufacturing of the chemicals, and they produce chemicals for almost all segments: textiles, construction, water treatment, fertilizer, leather, and paint industries. They are also in a continuous R&D mode. They are always innovating new products. They are always changing themselves to changing market, and they are also expanding themselves considering the new requirements of the chemical sector. Why I'm saying this company can become big from here is because if you see the segments or the chemicals or or the segment which is catering to textiles, construction, body treatment, fertilizer, leather, paint, all these sectors are here to stay. They are here to grow, and they are here to grow for multifolds. For example, textiles. Now, India is the second largest producer of textiles all over the world. So, and it has a large export base as well. There is a long government focus always on the textile sector because it creates a lot of jobs. So, this is one sector which is ever growing, and in a country like India, which has 140 crore of population and a growing population, textile needs always be there intrinsic to the country, and this company has a very large international market share as well. So you have a great industry in the country itself, and plus you are exporting a lot of your products into the international market, which makes this company even more exciting. Construction. So we all know we are emerging economy. Government is spending in the last budget. If you see, they had allotted around 11 lakh crores of rupees for construction and infrastructure. This year also we are expecting the same kind of budget or more than that. Generally, the track record of this government is they are expanding their construction or infra budget by around 10 to 12% every year. And we all know that there's a huge scarcity of infrastructure in India, whether it is rail network, road networks, highways, waterways, ports, housing. So there's a huge demand for construction, which means the company has a very good sector to cater for. Water treatment, I think that's probably the biggest sector which we'll see in the next 30 years all over the world. See, we all know there is a crisis of water. We have very little water to survive. The population is growing. The need for water is growing, which means water treatment will always remain the topmost priority for most of the countries now. And India is also taking a step. Mr. Modi, our Prime Minister, has always been focusing on new water treatment schemes. We want to be water neutral. We want the recycling water to happen very good in a very efficient way. We also don't want to waste water, and this utilization of water can only happen if we are reusing and recycling this water to the maximum extent possible. Which means that water treatment will remain industry highly focused for, and the business for this industry will also continue to grow. Fertilizer, why I'm saying this is because fertilizer, we are still an agro-dominated country. 63-65% of our GDP comes from agriculture even today. And 65% people are actually employed in the agriculture sector even today. So which means fertilizer requirement will always be there. We have a huge population to feed, 140 crores. That means this segment is here to stay and can only grow from here. It cannot come down. Let us not forget that our 60 crore people are below the poverty line. 30 crore people are malnourished. They're suffering from malnutrition, which means that the demand for food is there. In fact, there's a shortage of food. Pin industry and leather industry are again, they are one of the consuming segment. As soon as our per capita income will keep on increasing, we'll see that these two sectors will keep on thriving and they'll be only growing from here. This particular company, as I told, they produce chemicals for textile, which we'll discuss in detail in the forthcoming slides as well. Oil and gas. So this is again one segment which is a growing sector in India because we are an energy hungry country. We are a growing country. If our country is going at 10.5% nominal GDP growth, which means that, or if we say that by 2040 or 2047, which is the end of Amritkal, we want to become a developed country, maybe around $50 trillion of economy from current $3.5 trillion economy, which means that we will remain always energy hungry country, and oil and gas is something which will keep on growing in our country. So this is again one very big segment of the companies which continue to provide business. Cleaning and hygiene chemicals. This industry is growing after COVID a lot. So the need for hygiene, the need for cleanliness has only increased in India. Moreover, India is growing into a lot of multinational companies. We have a lot of parks, IT parks, we have hospitals, and a very big commercial complexes, office complexes. Now, These all complexes and these all big infra buildings require a lot of cleaning efforts. So, if at all this company is producing agents which will be helpful for cleaning and hygiene, so that particular segment will also require a lot of these chemicals. So, I think that is again one good sector which this company has a advantage to in terms of business. So industry we already discussed water treatment, leather, construction paint, agrochemicals, textile, all these industries this company is focusing on. Presently, it has three locations for its plants. It's Navi Mumbai in Mumbai, in India. We have Ambernath in India and Selangor in Malaysia. So it is a leading manufacturer of over 450 specialty chemicals and enzymes. So imagine the range of chemicals we're talking. It's huge, 450, and it's continuously growing. If you talk to this management, if you hear this management, they are always innovative. They're always spending money on R&D. They want to innovate new and new chemicals to cater to newer segments. So this 450 can only rise from here, it will not come down. So this company is operating in 70 countries, around 69 countries, and that is great. Also, it has 102 distributors in India. So it's a publicly listed company, ISO certified, ISO 14,000 certified, and it has a large 18,001 2065, and it has been recognized as a star export house as well. It has technical collaboration with European founded specialty chemical manufacturing company. The plant which has been established in Malaysia is owned and well known European founded specialty chemical company. It has been accredited with a lot of accolades from various well known institutes. It has been given the recognition of 25th among the 25th fastest growing chemical company, which means it is one of the best companies of chemicals in India. Also, they have been recognized as the fastest growing chemical company by SEBI, and it has been given a great place to work for consecutive 2 years. And they've also been awarded the Huron Industry Achievement Award in 2022. The company has achieved a 10% revenue growth in FY24, and the volume growth has been from 55 to 65 metric tons to 67,620 metric tons, which means that the overall segment growth is happening in a phenomenal way. The EBITDA margin is also fantastic. It's more than 35%, which is great. The key customers includes Nahar Group of companies, Wellspun, Raymond, Sahai, Only Vimal, Vardhaman, Chenab, JCT, and etc. etc. So it is actually catering to the best of textile sector in this country. The company has collaborated with the Eurodye CTC, it is in Belgium, and it has also done a JV with HealthGuard Australia to become the exclusive global marketing and sales channel partner with joint operations with Malaysia. And it has also set up R&D center in collaboration with Sasmira Institute, one of the India's premier textile institutes. So that is again some of the partnerships it has done. Expansion is they have taken additional 7 acres of land in Ambernath, MDC, and they'll be doing a 35 crore internal acreage there. The intention is the company to create additional capacity of 18,000 to 20,000 million tons per annum kind of a expansion. That's the expansion plan, which means the company is expanding, the company is creating new factories, and they want to grow their business to cater for different material for market segments. Biotech Malaysia subsidiary leads R&D efforts, so their majority of the R&D efforts are done with Biotech's in Malaysia plant. It offers over 50 categories of advanced specialized textile chemical applications, and Biotech is dedicated to creating the mosquito life cycle controller, an eco-friendly, non-toxic solution for managing mosquito outbreaks, primarily targeting developing countries. So again, a very useful product for a country like India. They're still developing it, but as soon as it comes out, you can imagine the kind of market which has in India, because we know how troubled we are with all these mosquitoes. So that's a great thing. The company has raised around 340 crores with the preferential allotment of equity shares and convertible warrants in July 2024. The company plans to become acquire a specialty chemical manufacturing firms whose product portfolio and customer base closely in line with operations. So they are not only growing Organically, they are also growing inorganically. That is something again very great. So I'll just touch upon what is, because the company is actually focusing on the textile sector to a larger extent as of now. So India's textile industry is the second largest in the world and a major contributor to the country's economy. The country involves production, processing, and distribution for fabrics of clothing, home furnishing, and dressing use. India is the world's largest producer of cotton. In 2022, India was the second largest exporter of textiles, with clothing exporting $44 billion worth of goods. Fantastic. India's textile industry has a 4.5% share of global textile and apparel trade. So imagine the kind of business potential this our company has, because we'll see in the forthcoming slides for the textile sector, whatever are the processing uh, methods, they have chemicals for each of those methods. The textile industry gives employment to a lot of people. We all know that. That's fine. Now, what is the Indian advantage in textile sector? So we have a robust demand. In FY25, April to June, exports of ready-made garments, including accessories, stood at 2.2 billion US dollars just in 9 months. Just in one quarter, sorry. It has a business of $2.2 billion. So if you just multiply, it's $10 billion a year. Cotton production in India is projected to reach 7.2 million tons by 2020, driven by an increasing demand for customers. The market for Indian textiles and apparel is projected to grow at 10% CAGR to reach $350 billion by 2030. Our entire GDP today is $3.5 trillion, so it's probably 10% of our GDP. And exports to reach 100 billion US dollars, so it's around $0.1 trillion. Fantastic. I think it's a great market. It has a competitive advantage. India has a competitive advantage for textile sector. India enjoys a competitive advantage in terms of skilled manpower and cost of production related to major textile producers. In June 2022, Ministry of Textiles, Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs and Food Public Distribution, Mr. Piyush Goyal stated that the Indian government wants to establish 75 textile hubs in the country. Policy support: there's 100% FDI allowed in textile sector. We have a PLI scheme as well for textile sector. The Indian government has notified uniform goods and GST 12% on man-made fabrics, MMF, yarn and apparels, which come into effect from January 1, 2022, again to give relief to the textile sector. Increasing investments: government approved R&D projects worth 7.5 million USD dollars in textile sector. Huge funds and schemes such as 900 crore for Ahmedabad Technology and Upgradation Fund Scheme, ATUFS, which was released in 2023-24 Union Budget. The total FDI inflows in textiles stood at 4.5 billion US dollars between April 2000 and March 2024. So I think FDI has been very, very optimistic about the Indian textile sector as well. Now we talk about the specific chemical industry, how that is growing. So again, robust demand, rise in demand for end user industries such as food processing, personal care, and home care is driving development of different segments of India's specialty chemical market. Exports of organic and inorganic chemical reached to 4.09 billion US dollars in April to September quarter 2024. Chemicals and petrochemicals demand is expected to nearly triple to reach 1 trillion US dollars by 2040. That's huge. India is the sixth largest producer of chemicals in the world and third in Asia, contributing 7% to India's GDP. Opportunity: India's specialty chemicals companies are expanding their capacities to increase to rising demand. That's perfectly fine. With global companies seeking to de-risk their supply chains, the chemical sector in India has the opportunity for significant growth. See, this China plus one factor and Europe plus one factor will be a clear advantage to the chemical sector in India. We all know how the Trump new administration is very eager to have a China plus one kind of a market. They will be putting a lot of sanctions on Chinese imports from to US. That will again give an opportunity to our producers of chemicals to enter into various global supply chains. The Dahej PCPIR project in Bharuch has attracted an investment of around 1 lakh crores and expected to generate 30,000 jobs. The Indian chemical industry is currently valued at 220 billion US dollars and expected to reach $300 billion by 2030. $300 billion. It's approximately $0.2 trillion. That's $0.3 trillion, which is again huge. This industry remains an active hub for opportunities even in an environment of global uncertainty. See, whatever global uncertainty you have, but this sector will always remain because chemical demand is always there. And so it's getting to paints, to construction, to textile, to, like mosquito repellents, all those things. These demands will never go off. These are all here to stay. That is why it has a huge potential to grow. PLI scheme was introduced, we discussed in the last slide as well. This is for especially for chemical sector for giving a relief around 1629 crores. The government allocated around 23 US million dollars to Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals. The petroleum chemicals, which is PCPIR, Petroleum Chemicals and Petrochemical Investment Region, has set up a Paradeep, which has been set up at Paradeep, has attracted investments worth $8.8 billion is already, resulting in employment around 40,000 jobs. Government to open 25,000 Jan Aushadhi Kendras to make medicines available at affordable prices. The PLI plan for the National Program of Advanced Chemistry Cell Battery Storage has been approved by the Union Cabinet as of May 2021. So, again, I'm saying that the expansion, the policy focus, the investments, the budget, the government focus is entirely on this chemical sector and this textile sector, and that's why I say that this company can grow multifolds. Increasing investments, so FDI flows, as we saw in the last slide, but this is for the chemical industry. So it's around 22.7 billion US dollars. An investment of rupees 8 lakh crore. The estimated Indian chemicals and petrochemical sector by 2025. Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi led the foundation stone for development projects worth more than 50,000 crores on September 14, 2023. Diversifying its business portfolio, I think we'd already discussed this thing in detail, so I'll not take too much time on this. They started on the textile chemical segment, but now they're into cleaning things. They're into water treatment. They're into construction. They're into mosquito repellent thing. They're also into paints, leather, etc. So they have been continuously increasing their segment reach. They want to get more and more diversified. That's again a good thing. So it has 470 plus categories. Star Export House, they got ICRA rating of A plus and A plus 1, long term A plus and short term A1 plus. They have FDA approved plants, 100 per dealers. All those things we already discussed. Their total installed capacity is more than 1 lakh metric tons per annum. That's perfect. That's great. And they present in approximately 70 countries. So again, a large addressable, huge market, both nationally and internationally. Long-standing track record of consistently creating value. So they have been given all the ISO certifications, acquisition of FCPL by Finotex Chemical Limited. So they are going they're growing inorganically as well. They have incorporated the subsidiary in Malaysia, so that's also fine. Biotex, which I already discussed, it's one of their big R&D centers in Malaysia. They have been raising money from the markets again and again. They have done since 2024 also, which we discussed in the last slide. Amman's facility capacity expanded by an additional 40,000 metric tons per annum, taking the overall capacity to 1 lakh metric tons. ICL rating, which already discussed, Great Place to Work certified, done in Breadsheet DCG Brigade. Purchase additional factory and land premises of 7 acres additional Ambernath MIDC. And they have got accreditation from NABL from time to time. That's fine. So I'll just skip this slide because we already discussed many of the points. Strategic rationale. So Finotex utilizes a fundamental strength in the textile chemical industry to enter into cleaning and hygiene industry now. Numerous chemical compounds that are utilized in textile specialty segment have potential application in the cleaning and hygiene sector as well. This expansion allows Finotex to diversify business and revenue streams with leveraging in core companies. They actively encourage sustainable endeavor to minimize their environmental footprint. It's fine. Finotex aims to maintain some standards of quality performance, and they've given a heightened importance to cleanliness chemicals post pandemic because of the growing demand. So they have many customized solutions as well. Besides manufacturing specialty chemicals, they also offer customized technical solution services through their dedicated focus on R&D activities by strong alliances with partners and institutions. So as I told that they are into every step of textile sector. So weaving, pre-treatment, dyeing, printing, finishing, all those are steps of how the yarn is converted into a final product of cloth or whatever the product, bedsheet, whatever the thing is, or final finished product is. So they're into all the steps involved in this value chain of this process. By product categories, they're into polymers, softeners, enzymes, wetting and detergent, sequestering active additives, dyes, acids, alkali, leveling, detergent fixer, etc. So all those particular segments of textiles they are catering to, and that's why they have huge. Some of the largest, manufacturers of cloth. They have tie-ups to all those people in the industry. They have developed technical expertise. Yes, a company which is producing more than 450 chemicals and a span of 70 countries have to have that. So I'll not discuss this in detail, but the other three products, Phenocon, Ecodo, and CleanJet, which they have introduced now to enter into the cleaning and hygiene segment as well. They are also into cleaning and hygiene we discussed. I'll not take much time, but if at all there is something very important, I'll just put it out. So we all know that they are into housekeeping, kitchen care, and disinfectants, and in public health and hygiene. They're also entered now into drilling specialty chemicals. So customized solution for oil and gas, significant potential for offering effective products used for drilling of oil exploratory process, sizable orders from leading oil and gas companies in India. That's perfectly. So that's again one very big segment. Other specialty chemicals include non-Texico eco-friendly solution designed for European technology, Malaysia Biotex, approved by Ministry of Health, Malaysia, Singapore, PUB, European Union, NSF, and relevant authorities in Vietnam and Cambodia. A unique mosquito life controller product under development by Biotex. This is again discussed in the previous slide. They're into still into development stage for that mosquito repellent kind of a chemical. Successes, acquisitions. So I'll just skip into it because we already discussed most of the thing. Let me see if there is something which we have not discussed. I think we discussed many of the things, so I'll just skip this slide. Recent collaborations to expand product profile and geographical reach. So we discussed Eurodye CTC. They have a tie-up with this now. This is a strategic collaboration with Eurodye, which is in Belgium, to commercialize specialty chemicals for the Indian market. They have a tie-up with HealthGuard. This is a strategic collaboration with Australian. This is a company in Australia to become exclusive global marketing and sales channel partner with joint operation from Malaysia. They also have a tie-up with Sasmira. This is a Sasmira Institute of Premium Institute in India for textiles, and this is how they have been growing into with a lot of collaborations and R&D centers across the globe. FCL is a leading chemical manufacturer with a zero liquid discharge system, eco-friendly products, and recognition of promoting sustainable practices. In cleaning hygiene, FCL foresee driving the Indian cleaning market, which is scattered and highly unorganized, leading to a lack of strong player in the sector. This sector may be strong player nahi hai. So this is one company which can really create some marks in this country. So that's a huge potential again. So these are the geographical locations where they have been establishments. So 23% of their revenue comes from domestic market and international 77%. So again, diversified into different chemicals and diversified across various geographical locations. So those 70 countries include Brazil, Bangladesh, Germany, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Syria, Thailand, USA, Venezuela, and Vietnam. So these are their board of directors. The company is owned by Surendra Kumar Tibrewala, then his son Sanjay Tibrewala, and then many other board of directors, which will not go in detail. But all these are very renowned people. You can just do a Google search on these people, renowned management, and a very good support from independent directors as well. The management team, So if I talk about the four main people, it's Surendra Kumar Tiruvalla, of course, the managing MD of the company, Sanjay Tibriwala, who's the CFO, Aarti Runjulwala, she's the head of international marketing, and Aritata, which is the education management personnel. So again, there are some bottom of the pyramid people, but I'll just skip this slide because probably this will make our video longer. We'll come to the fundamentals. So this company has a very high, which has a market cap around 3623 crores. So it's still into small cap category. That is why I said that the company has a huge potential to become multifold. The P around 29, so it's a decent P, but I'll still say that if you get this company at around 22, 23 P, that would be great. So start accumulating this stock, but don't be in a hurry to, grab this stock in a hurry. But just buy the stock in corrections. You will get corrections in 2025 anyways because of various reasons globally. Very strong ROC and ROE of more than 35%. That's why I chose this company. Book value of rupees 60. The promoter holding is a fantastic 63%. They are high on cash, 666 crore of reserves. Price to book of 5.25, slightly higher, but again the kind of company number it is given, I think it is warranted for. So very strong fundamental, extremely strong fundamental. There's no problem in the fundamentals. Stock has been performing very well. So from, I think it listed in 2011, from there on, it has already become a multi-bagger stock. It has already become 6 times, 7 times. But we can really assume that it can become 100 times also from this, because the kind of segment it is catering to, the kind of demand, the kind of geographical locations, the internal expertise, the kind of R&D centers, beautiful, excellent management, excellent company with very strong fundamentals. So I still assume this company to become 100x from here. Company reduced debt. Debt to उसमें है ही नहीं almost. We saw high reserves of 666 crores. The company has delivered a good profit growth of 40% CAGR of last 5 years. Fantastic ROA for more than 28%. The revenue growth has been stupendous, around 48% past 3 years. Promoter holding through the come hua, which we saw on the first slide, that they have diluted some stake to raise cash around 350 crores or 450 crores. That's fine. But still, since the promoter holding more than 63%, that's fine. So this is where I tell that the operating margins have been steadily increasing and they have been almost consistent, around 25% plus. So the margins are excellent. EPS have been growing quarter on quarter sequentially. There's no issue in that. The company has been increasing the operating profit quarter on quarter. Again, a thumbs up on that. So the numbers are absolutely beautiful. So we already discussed the sales have been growing for 10 years, 21%, 5 years, 26%, 3 years, 38%. Even the profit growth has been very good, 35%, 40%, and 41% of 10 years, 5 years, 3 years respectively. The return on equity has also been 23%, 25%, and 28% for 10 years, 5 years, and 3 years respectively. For trailing 12 months, it's 30%. That's again fantastic. So we discussed the ratios. I'll skip this slide. It has been the graph is always going up only. So no issue with that. Operating metrics, if we see from yearly performance, we can see that it has been continuously increasing. The margins have been very steady, more than 25% for last 2-3 years. The operating profit has been increasing from March 2013. It was only 10 crores, but now on this current financial year, it's around 150 crores. EPS also, if you see, that has been continuously increasing from 0.63 in March 2013 to 11 now in this financial year. This company also gives dividends, so that's an additional advantage as well. So that's fine. So the numbers looks absolutely brilliant. So the company has no debt, which you already seen, and the reserves are also very high, and they've been increasing. So if you see the reserves from 47 crores in March 2013, it's already increased to 666 crores in this financial year. So it's ever increasing your reserve. That is again good. That has been increasing cash. That's a cash-rich company in terms of a very good cash flow. That's again good. So FIs and DIs, they own around 3.5% approximately in this company. 63% of the entire stakeholders is being by the promoters, and the public is also owning around 30% because of the issue they have given. So that's fine. The shareholding pattern is also very good. So what's the summary now? Summary is that FCL has shown good profit growth over the last past few years. The return equity has maintained a healthy ROE past few years. It has a strong ROCE. Their EBITDA has also been increasing on an increasing trend as well. They have net good margin as well. Sales growth has also been increasing for over the years, and the liquidity position, because they have high reserves, that is again a good point for us. It has very high cash conversion cycle, that is again a good advantage, and FCL has high promoter holding, that is again a fine. And it has a PEG ratio of 0.27, so it's actually an undervalued stock. It has been, the PE ratio is less than the growth. Growth is much higher than the PE ratio, which means it's highly undervalued. See, the companies which are the flavor of the market right now, Dixon, BSE, uh, probably Trend, all these are growing at a PEG ratio of more than 1, more than 1.5 in fact. This is available at 0.27. So it's a highly undervalued stock, and it's a great advantage to have the stock at these levels. Also, you can buy on dips also, but even at these levels, it's a fantastic bet. Take this stock, keep it for 20 years. It is going to be 100x. So this was all, guys. I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked the research, and thanks so much for giving your time. Uh, we'll continue with our endeavor. We'll continue to give you these kind of stocks every week or 10 days. And this is the third episode. So we aim to give you hundreds of stocks over the time. And so thanks. Happy investing. And I hope that your fortunes just keep on increasing. Thank you so much. Thank you.